Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dendices and welcome back to Racer or Random SCP Review. Today we will continue, I guess. This is episode 15 and if you are new, Racer is basically random SCP review in which I will discuss any random SCP. And how does random do, right? Like how do we get random SCP? Well, over here I have this random number generator. I set the minimum as 1 and the maximum as 7,000 because currently there are about 7,000 SCPs already. Although at this point I'm recording, there's already some submissions into SCP like series 8 I believe, starting from SCP-7000 until 8,000. But the thing is that most of those spots are still empty, so if we land on 7,000 something, chances are we will land on an empty page, right? So so that we don't have to reroll, I guess it's just better to ignore any SCPs higher than 7,000 just for now. um, we'll surely cover that as well in the future, but yeah, I guess I will generate right now. And recently we got some SCPs that are lower than 2000. It means that it was they were like old SCPs, right? Like SCPs that came about 10 years ago, right? Basically, SCP 2000 and lower. Um, Maybe for now, I kind of want to have a little bit of SCP-3000 to 5000, I guess. 6000 so far is not really my most favorite one, just because of it's recent. And I don't know, like sometimes, like the more you create stuff, the more originality it will, it will be not as original as the OG, right? So yeah, like sometimes it's kind of like difficult to understand. Sometimes it's not as good as the old SCPs, right? So yeah, probably series 7 is not my like my most favorite one, but it's okay if we get that as well. Anyway, 3 2 1 and stop. Okay, we got SCP-4906. Okay, I will go to the SCP wiki and I will be right back. Okay, we are in the SCP wiki. As you can see over here, this is SCP series 5 and this is SCP-4906, which is on the 6th month Gale. Don't know what that means, but I guess we can just go straight into it, I guess. Also, I only have like about 30 minutes until I have to do something. Therefore, if this is too long, I will potentially cut. And yeah, by the looks of things over here, as you can see from the scroll bar of at the right over here, it looks like it will be a long one. Therefore, I will, yeah, like there's also this one, right? Document addendum as well. And yeah, just yeah, like there's a lot of this, right? I see some Japanese over here. Okay, kind of interesting. Okay, there is this Zhuangzi as well. But alright, I think yeah, this one will definitely be more than one part, I think. Just because how long it is, I think. Okay, so anyway, let's start, I guess. SCP-4906. There is no picture, so yeah, use your imagination, I guess. I mean, some SCPs that we covered recently, also some of them had pictures, some of them also had no pictures, right? So I will try my best to describe or think of how it looks like, right? But all right. Atom SCP-4906. So this one was about 5,000. If I have to take a guess, I think this was like somewhere around 2018 or 19. I think because SCP-6000 something was like recent, right? Like about 2020 and recent basically. So 5,000 is probably like 2018 or 2017 or something like that. But yeah, anyway, object class Euclid. Okay, so just like any other Euclid SCP, it means that they don't really fully know about what the SCPs are doing, and then they also don't know, not really don't know, but more like they are not sure how to contain this SCP properly, right? Because there are some properties that the Foundation don't know, therefore they are not sure if the current containment is enough or not, right? Like maybe the SCP can also do like something out of ordinary, right? And then it breaks out, and the containment breach, right? Therefore, it cannot be contained properly, right? So yeah, there's that. But anyway, special containment procedures. Current Foundation resources are directed towards preventing a recurrence of event 4906 something. Foundation Site 4906, located on Yuzhny Island, Russian Federation, powers a solenoid of magnetic flux density um, 1.072 Tesla to augment the magnetic flux density of uh, 4906 North. Okay, so by the looks of thing, I think 4906 is potentially a region as well, the same as previous one. Previous one was about forest, right, in the Rocky Mountain in the U.S., and this is probably about near Russia, right? So, okay, also basically like Asian, to the north of Asia, right, around Russia territory probably. Should event 4906 recur, I don't know how to pronounce that symbol, but yeah, hopefully it will get mentioned about how to pronounce that. Um, Mobile Task Force Sigma 58 Turkey shooters shall reverse the polarity of Site 4906 solenoid in order to trigger event 4906 something else, right? Let's say alpha and beta, right? For now. Once event 4906 beta is complete, MTF Sigma 58 shall return Site 4906 to normal operation. Okay, so basically, I think what happened here is that 4906 is an area, and then that 4906 alpha over here, this one, I would just say this alpha for now. 4906 alpha happened, it means that something bad happened, right? And then, therefore, the Mobile Task Force Sigma 58 Turkey shooters. They will reverse the polarity basically, or reverse the solenoid. Yeah, like yeah, reverse the polarity, like let's say it was positive, and then now it got switched to negative, right? To trigger the another event, right, which is event 4906 beta. I will call this beta for now, just for like naming, right? I'm sure the author like wants this to be something, right? But the thing is that not everyone can read what this letter is. Therefore, I would just use like simple, like event 4906 A, B, or alpha, beta, right? I would just call alpha, beta for now. Like once event 4906 beta is complete, I think this is event that can recover the situation, right? And then, like basically return the 4906 to normal operation. So probably they also reverse again, right? Into, reverse the polarity again. That's what I thought for now. Okay, so description. SCP-4906 consists of three parts: 4906 Omicron, an anomalous organism, and 4906 North and 4906 South, a pair of magnetic anomalies. Okay, so it's not a place; it's actually an organism, right? A thing, basically an object, living thing, whatever. Also, there is the north part and the south part, like northern and southern, basically, which are, I mean, magnetic anomalies. Okay, so maybe like from the north to south. Oh, I see. Okay, so probably what happened here is that the north and south kind of emits like magnetic field, right? And then that's why over here it got reversed, right? Counter. So that probably it will, if you have like magnetic field, if you reverse, I guess, then it will become neutral kinda, right? Like if you have positive and negative at the north and south, and then you have something else that is south and north. um the positive and negative is at south and north respectively, then they kind of like, I would say, like kind of cancel out the effect, right? Like not really cancel out, but more like because it's positive, it will be attracted to the negative side, right? So the negative side is, I would say, like the one that is used to bait all these magnetic properties, I think, right? I think that's what I guess anyway for the start. Anyway, current understanding is 4906 Omicron keeps the anomalous properties of north and south localized to radius of 50 meters. Oh, that's actually not that far away. 50 meter is about 50 100 or 5000 centimeters. That is about 5000 divided by 30, 500 divided by 30, so about 170 feet basically. So that's not that far, right? Only 170 feet. Prior to containment, 4906 Omicron performs regular migrations between north and south. These migrations are designated event alpha and event beta and are related to the weakening of the magnetic flux density of north and south. Okay, so there is like migration, okay? Regular migration. Okay, so I guess the Omicron is the living thing that will travel from the northern part to the southern part. Like the migration will be considered as alpha and beta. I guess alpha is maybe from the north to south, and then south to north is probably beta, right? Um, and also related to the weakening of magnetic flux density of north and south. Okay, so I think what happened is when this Omicron migrates to the north, probably the magnetic flux in the north kind of becomes like, I don't know, like a little bit, I don't know, like weakened probably, or even empowered, right? I don't know which one is which just yet. But yeah, like these migrations then, affect uh, the power or the strength of the magnetic flux, right? But yeah, Omicron appears to be a makeup Terra Novae Angeli. Humpback whale. Oh, it's a whale. Okay, specimen. 70,000 meters in length from nose to tail. Okay, so that's about 70 um, kilometers. Okay, so okay, here we go again. The thing is that it kind of is not. Yeah, like sometimes it doesn't really make any sense, right? Like there is no way a whale can be this big, right? We're talking about 70 kilometers. That's about divided by 1.5. That is about, let's say, 50, right? 50 miles basically in length, and that's only in length, right? So yeah, I'm not buying this. I cannot really believe that this actually happened just because of how absurd the measurement is, right? So I guess that's just how flaw, like how these SCPs have this kind of flaw. Like they don't, usually the author kind of just wants something big, right? And then they put the number, random number, and it doesn't make any sense, right? There's no way an organism can be this long, right? Like there's no whale that is this big. I mean, sure, you can always argue that this is just SCP, right? Like this is like even Kraken, right? Let's say Kraken. Um, like it can be big, right? So maybe this is what the author thinks, but unfortunately I'm not buying it just because of how absurdly lengthy it is. 70,000 meters, like 50 miles, that's just nonsense, right? I'm sorry, but this is just nonsense. Okay, so for my own I guess standard, so 60 meters, I mean 60 kilometers was the distance between my house and my university. So, and that also I need to travel in about 2 hours of motorbike travel. So, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, there's this big of whale in which you have to travel from, like 2 hours from the tail to the head, right? So, yeah, I'm sorry, but this doesn't make any sense. Like even if this is only 1,000 meter or 1 kilometer, I'm still kind of not buying it as well. Let alone 70,000. But all right then, I guess we can just also accept, considering that there's also another gigantic creatures, right? Like I believe there's like some kind of spatial like creatures in the space that are even bigger, right? Like even bigger than the sun, and that also, like it kind of doesn't make any sense as well, right? Especially if you have that big amount of mass, and then you will start affecting the gravity around other objects as well, right? So yeah, like this one as well. No, I'm just no. Anyway, Omicron is currently submerged and completely inert. Biopsies of Omicron has yielded DNA of two species, humpback whale and emmer falcon. Um, so they kind of tested like the DNA, I guess, of this Omicron thing, and it has two species currently, which is from the whale as well as from this emmer falcon. I don't know what that means. I guess falcon, in general. Yeah, North and South are a pair of geomagnetic anomalies which form a dipole with an estimated magnetic flux density of 2.317 Tesla, about 36,000 to 93,000 times the strength of Earth's magnetic field. Okay, so this is also doesn't make any sense as well, right? Like, um, yeah, like I'm sorry, but sometimes you have also to make sense of the logic as well, right? Um, you said that this was around Russia, right? Near Russian, and well, not really said that, but the Russian Federation took action. Therefore, I would say that this is around the country as well, right? And if it's 36,000 or 93,000 times, the strength of Earth magnetic field, I'm sorry, but this just doesn't make any sense, right? Like, it will affect space in general, right? So yeah, like things like this, I'm not sure. Like sometimes, like oh, you want big numbers, right? But then also you have to make any sense about the logic as well, right? About Earth, like how can something has more magnetic field than Earth, right? Especially like this amount of time, right? I mean, amount of power multiplied by Earth magnetic field, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not really buying into this big number, right? Sometimes, yeah, you like big numbers, but not for me. Like let's just say about 5 to 10 times of Earth magnetic field, right? Like realistically speaking, right? But so that you just don't think about, oh, this is weird. Why don't we just destroy it, right? And yeah, that's about it, I guess. Through an unknown mechanism, Omicron has limited the anomaly's effect to a radius of 50 meters. Again, right? How is this big of thing, like only capable of limit the thing only to 50 meters, right? Again, like the proportion of number here doesn't make any sense, right? Anyway, from this point, I think I will just ignore any number or numerical thing, so that I just don't rant about the logical sense of this, right? So yeah. Anyway, the rapid ionization of sweater or seawater, I mean not sweater, seawater from 4906 north and south's magnetic forces create severe weather patterns in their respective area. Yeah, like obviously, right? Because you put that amount of number, of course it has effect on the region as well. Like not even that, probably something else as well, right? Like by that amount of power of magnetic field, which doesn't make any sense. um, North is located 74 and 50 at the depth of 47 kilometers, which is a point in the Barents Sea. Okay, it's located 150 kilometers away from the shore of Yuzhny Island, Russian Federation. South is located about 50 coordinates away, I guess, x-axis, and about 83 y-axis away, right? At the depth of the same 47 kilometers, which is a point in the Philippine Sea and is not located within 250 kilometers of any significant land mass. Okay, so here we go. It's interesting as well. So basically this thing is near the Russian at the north and then near Philippine as well. If you haven't, I guess if you don't know the map, the world map, so basically Philippine and then there is an empty sea about the north of Philippine, and then after that there is Japan, but that's a little bit to the west, right? And then from that point to the north, then you will find yourself in Russia, right? So yeah, I guess that's about in Pacific Ocean then, I think. Yeah, like I think it's about in Pacific Ocean, right? But yeah, anyway, even alpha, right? This one that we call this triggers when storms with wind speed exceeding 131 kilometer per hour. That's about 100 miles per hour. Approach north. North's magnetic flux density will drop to 1.2 over a period of 52 minutes. Simultaneously, Omicron transforms into what appears to be a large specimen of the falcon genus or falcon, growing large wings as its fins reshape into legs and claws, and its skin begins to grow metallic, dart-like feathers. The wingspan has been estimated to be in excess of 70 kilometers. Yeah, again, doesn't make any sense again. Like the length, like remember here, the length is 70,000 meters, and now you just put this number 70 kilometers for the wing. So like doesn't look proportionally balance, I would say. Like I don't know, maybe this is a reference to, like, I don't know, Pokemon or something like that. I don't know, like I never know about the reference of this creature, like this length and this long and as well as this wide of wing, right? So but all right, I guess again I'm not gonna say anything about that as well. I just not buying it basically. um After Omicron transforms, the parent sea cavitates at the location of north, rapidly forming walls of water that are over 100 kilometers in length. Walls of water that are 100 kilometers in length. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm thinking about this again. This takes place in, like obviously in the open sea, right? Let's say just in about Pacific Ocean, right? To the north of Philippines, to the Russian water area, right? So I guess 70 kilometers in shape is alright in the proportion of that. But the thing is that you also have to think about, like any other creature that are this big, right? There is none. Spoiler alert, there is none. Even dinosaur is not this big, right? So yeah, it's still kind of difficult for me to making it into logical sense, right? I mean, I guess, yeah, sure, like bigger, better, right? The bigger the number, the better it is, right? But it doesn't always have to be the case, right? But anyway, again, I keep saying about this measurement. The thing is that I don't really care, honestly. Like it is what it is, right? Um, okay. Omicron would then take flight and rise to an orbit of 3,000 kilometers from sea level. So that's in the atmosphere, basically. It then follows the orthodromic path to the location of south. Okay, so it moves from the north to the south. Omicron sends regular pulses in the Earth's magnetic field while in flight. The meanings of these pulses, if any, are unknown. Yeah, might as well destroy any other technology that human has, right? Sure, why not? Omicron returns to its original form once completely submerged in seawater. The entire process takes about 93 days. Okay, I guess even with this big of creature, it still take 3 months. All right, sure, why not? Okay, notably occurrences of event 4906 alpha are tied to significant foundation losses within the Soviet Union. There is currently insufficient evidence on casualty or causality, I mean, between the events and the losses. There's a footnote there, footnote 1, okay. Event 4906 beta occurs in the same manner as event alpha, but with the origin being south and destination being north. Okay, so yeah, like I said, it's just the reverse of it, right? Um, Occurrences of event beta are tied to significant foundation losses within the United States. Um, okay, foundation losses within Soviet. Okay, so alpha means that there is a losses between within Soviet Union, and if it's beta then it loses within the US, right? Okay, so Kind of, try to make sense out of it as well. Like, so this is basically about United States and Russia, right? So something happened, right? Because like if one lost, then as I guess as a thing, it will move. The thing, the Omicron will move from north to south, I think, right? And then if like if the losses within United States, then it will move to the south, from the south to the north, basically. But alright, event log 4906, event alpha, June 1st, 1938. Foundation researchers inadvertently witnessed the event while conducting a routine expedition to the North Pole. Lost date June 13th, 1938. Level 4 Agent Genrik Lyuskov defected to the Japanese Empire. Okay, so this is footnote 2. Casualties: 1 Foundation casualty, 76,000. Non Foundation casualties, 3. Non Foundation casualty. Okay, so like basically like the residents around the area, probably. But yeah, okay. Notes and documents. Interview log 4906 Alpha 1945. Date August 20th, 1945. Imperial location: Imperial Japanese Intelligence Office, Dalian, China. Subject: Defector Kenrik Lyuskov, I mean. Interviewer: Takioka Yutaka, level 2 agent. There's also another footnote there. Lyuskov: Gentlemen, I understand what you're here for. Kenrik, please have a seat. I can still be of service if you allow me to go to America. Please leave us, IJA soldier. I would like to talk to General Yuskov personally. Yes, sir. Uh, Kenrik, I can get you to America if you answer some questions, but you absolutely must tell the truth. I will. Why did you betray us? I never betrayed the Empire. I want Suji. I'm not talking about Nomonan, okay? Another footnote. Why did you defect from the Foundation? The Foundation? You work for them? Where was the Foundation when I was already 1 foot in the grave? Stalin was going to. Oh god, are you going to? That depends on your level of cooperation. My offer to bring you to America is still on the table if you answer my questions. When did you decide to defect and why that day? I still remember that feeling from that day, the first of the month. I woke up and just knew said Stalin will liquidate me next. I tried contacting the Foundation, but none of the usual channels were usable. I gave up after 12 days. I fled my post. I never told the Japanese anything. Did you notice anything else? Only strange lights, auroras. They usually didn't show in Khabarovsk. You see, okay, Khabarovsk is in the Russia, but it's at the eastern side, southeastern to be specific, and it is actually near Japanese island as well. The way I know this is because I play the game TR Survival. The other series that I do in this channel, it's about survival games, and it takes place on Russia. So I kind of know a little bit of Russian region just because I play the game, right? And there is like the map of Russia basically. Therefore, I kind of know where is the big cities in Russia located basically. So yeah. Thank you. Okay. Note: Agent Takioka terminated Defector Lushkov after the interview. Okay. So after that, yeah. Event beta December 17, 1944. Okay, so this is alpha. It means it took a loss to the Soviet, I think. And now this is beta. It means this will lose. No, it's the losses in Soviet, I guess, or Russia. And then this one, the beta, it means it will have some losses in the US, right? Okay, date December 17th, 1944. Description: the Foundation did not directly witness this event. December 17th, 1944, lost date, lost. An intense tropical storm, Cobra, originating from south, struck the US 3rd Fleet, sinking 3 destroyers. Level 3 Agent Floyd Garrett Jr., footnote 6, went down with his ship. Oh yeah, like this is there is a loss in the US, right? So yeah, this is when this turns to beta, then it will have some loss in the area, right? And in the US, casualties: 1 Foundation casualty, 775. Non Foundation casualty. That is comparably lower than the amount of casualties on this one over here in, I guess, either Japanese or Japan or Russia, right? Soviet at that time. But yeah, notes and documents. The Foundation determined where Cobra originated in 1948. Level 4 researcher Julia Pavlov ordered Site 4906 be built to study Omicron after confirming its return to North in 48. Event Alpha again, this one August 1st, 1958, which is about 10 years after the previous one, right? Description: Site 4906 observed this event August 15, 1958. Loss: Level 4 agent Razkazov Vladislavovic and Level 3 agents Nikolai Uvarov and Sergei Apanasenko were killed in the Aeroflot Flight 4 crash. Casualties: 3 Foundation casualties, 61 non-Foundation casualties. Notes and documents: SCP-2908 being transported on board was recovered after 36 days. Okay, so there's an SCP as well for here. I presume it is an object potentially that they tried to transfer, I guess, from, um, I guess, around the Japanese or Russian area. So yeah. And then after that, there's also another beta which occurs 2 years after that on February 22nd, 1960. Description: Foundation researchers witnessed this event while transiting to Iwo Jima, that's Japan, right? Or Japan. May 1st, 1960. Loss will be Level 2 Agent Francis Powers, Note 7, went down with his aircraft over the Soviet Union. Casualties: 1 Foundation casualty. Okay, so it's only 1 casualty. Notes and documents. Debriefing log 4906 beta 1960. December 11, 1960. Vladimir Central Prison. Subject level 2 agent Francis Powers. Debriefer level 2 agent Iosif Vladovic. Footnote 8. Vladovic. I trust everything is well, Mr. Powers, as well as it could be in this dump. Have you tried imprisonment? You might like it. What do you want? I thought that trial, Agent Powers make the air quotes gesture, was the end of it. The Bolsheviks might have had enough of you. But we have more questions. And who is we? The people who you really work for. Should I scream for help that there is a CIA agent here? Um, if you if you will not oh no if you want to get out of here alive and as fast as possible, you will not do that. We can do this tango all day, but I will cut to the point. The Foundation wants to know why your plane crashed. What Foundation? Agent Vladovic throws Agent Powers a challenge coin. I didn't get your name, Agent Vladovic. Level 2 MTF Sigma 58. We want to know what happened to your plane. Okay. I don't know why there is this coin challenge as well. All right. I honestly can't. No, actually. Okay, I honestly can't tell you. 1 minute I was flying fine, and then my instruments all went haywire. My compass was spinning like a ceiling fan. I lost control shortly afterwards. Do you remember anything else of significance? That the auroras were particularly striking that day. Note: Agent Powers was repatriated in a prisoner exchange to the United States on February 8, 1961, and resigned from the Foundation shortly after. Event Alpha again, October 21st, 61. So this is a year, I think, from the previous one. Yeah, a year, about a year. November 1st, 1961. The Soviet Union tested its 50 megaton device Tsar Bomba, destroying Site 4906. Casualties: 2113 Foundation casualty. Oh, that's actually a dick move there. Like, you tested the Tsar Bomba, but you destroyed the Site 4906 as well, right? And then there's people over here, right? Yeah, that's actually, yeah, like a dick move if you ask me. But anyway, notes and documents. Level 3 researcher Robert Combs linked North's loss of magnetic flux density to the recurrence of alpha from data retrieved from this event. O5 Council ordered 4906 to be rebuilt in its current configuration on August 5th, 1963, after the Soviet Union signed the Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. Okay, so yeah, I guess they kinda don't know that there is a thing over there, I guess, because there's then this treaty, right, to not do another nuclear test, right? But yeah. Okay, so when alpha happened here, it says that the magnetic flux kinda losing, right? So it gets weaker. Okay, and then after that will be another beta. But I think that'll be it for today's episode or part one, I guess. It's almost there, almost finished, but I really got to do something else. Like right now, I need to go somewhere else. Therefore, I cannot really explain, like continue. I mean about this SCP. But so far, I guess at first I kind of don't really like the size of the thing, the area. I mean the size of the thing, right? But the thing is that I guess as we progress to the story, it kind of mentions about the history as well, right? About things that happened in the past. So yeah. Um, Also, they kind of mentioned about Aurora as well. I think what happened here is that um, I think I think what happened is basically they're kind of telling that yeah, like there is something in the sky, right, which is the aurora, right? So I guess the SCP kind of wants to tell that the aurora is basically the SCP, right, that can affect all this kind of stuff, right? And the reason that aurora occurs is because of this magnetic flux in the north and south, right? And then that, about the Omicron itself, I'm not sure when the Omicron is necessary to be there. Yeah, like what's the, like what's the, I don't know, like what's the effect of this creature, whatever it is, that has a proportionally big, I mean, disproportionately big body, I guess. Um, yeah, like doing, right, like what is its purpose, right, and why does it have wings, why can it swim, and why did it fly in the sky, right, at 3000 kilometers high, right? That's like basically in the atmosphere level, right? So it's up there high, probably near, like it does, and the at the same height of aurora as well. So maybe there's that, maybe that's what the author trying to say, right, about this kind of stuff, like there's an aura, there's also a creature, there's also all of these things were, like connected to the events that happened in the past, right, between the US and Soviet, right? But I'm not really into politics as well, so like I kind of don't know any of these. I also don't care about any of this really, right? Like like all this stuff, they kind of do it to themselves, right? Like if they don't do this, then this kind of stuff will not happen in the past, right? So yeah, again, like this is by your hands, right, basically. So yeah, I guess a little bit of history tell, I guess, but still the I guess the measurement, I don't really, like I guess not everything has to make sense, right? Especially this is SCP where you can use anything you want, right? As like basically this is your imagination stuff, right? But I guess for that reason, yeah, I guess also maybe the author kind of likes history as well, and kind of want to make things out of this stuff, right? Like connecting stuff to events that actually happened in the past, right? But yeah, so far I mean, I'm kind of meh on this one, honestly, like for the fact that I don't really care about this kind of stuff that happened in the past, because I'm Asian. Even my country back then got colonialized, right? There's colony, right, of the Dutch. Therefore, like we don't really care about what happened towards the bigger countries, right, like US and Russia, basically, because at the time our nation ourselves was also like under like slavery of a colony, right? Therefore, like we got our own problems to deal with, right? So yeah, that's why we don't really not really care, but more like um I guess for me personally, I don't really care about things or wars or politics that happen in the past, that happen to the big countries, right? Because again, we already passed that by now. So yeah, I guess it's just for history lesson, right? But yeah, anyway, I've been talking a lot now. It's been 40 minutes already. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will continue this in part 2 in the next episode of Racer Random SCP Review. This has been Racer episode 15 part 1. And thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, I guess in advance, I kind of apologize if I said that I didn't seem to really appreciate this SCP. Not that, like, not that it means I don't like it. It means that it's just not in my interest region, right? So yeah, there's that anyway. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again few days from now, next week probably in the next episode of Razor, on this SCP Entry 15 Part 2. But until then, stay safe, healthy. I will see you again very soon, and see ya.